welcome to your deep dive into AI. It seems like every day there's something new and amazing happening in the world of AI.
Yeah, it's incredible. The pace of innovation is just mind-blowing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd take a deep dive into some of the latest developments, explore what's happening with these innovative startups.
And look at the big players too, right? What are they up to?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And most importantly, how is this all impacting the real world? Like what are the actual implications of these advancements?
Because it's not just hype anymore. It's really starting to have a tangible impact on industries across the board.
Yeah. So let's start with the startups, huh? What are some of the most interesting startups that you've come across lately?
Well, one that really caught my eye is Hippocratic AI.
Hippocratic AI, okay.
Yeah, they're using AI to revolutionize healthcare.
Okay. That's a big claim.
Yeah.
How are they doing that?
So they've developed this AI assistant that's designed to be empathetic.
Empathetic.
Yeah, so it's not just about providing information, it's about actually understanding and responding to a patient's concerns.
Wow, that's a really interesting concept. I mean, imagine an AI that could actually provide initial medical advice while being sensitive to your emotions.
Exactly. And think about the potential this has to alleviate the burden on healthcare workers.
Absolutely. I mean, healthcare systems around the world are facing so many challenges right now.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
so this could be a real game changer.
And they must be doing something right because they just secured $50 million in Series A funding.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant vote of confidence from investors.
Absolutely. So what do you think about this, listener? Do you see empathetic AI assistance as a viable solution to some of the problems in healthcare? I mean, it's a fascinating idea, but there are definitely some ethical considerations to think about too, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have to ask ourselves, how comfortable are we with AI playing such a sensitive role in healthcare? And what are the potential unintended consequences that we need to be aware of? I mean, it's a complex issue for sure.
Yeah. And while Hippocratic AI is focused on healthcare, there are other startups pushing boundaries in different fields, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, take Sanctuary AI, for example. They're developing AI-powered robots that are designed to work alongside humans in industrial settings.
Oh, wow. So they're not trying to replace human workers, they're trying to augment them.
Exactly. It's about collaboration and creating a more efficient and productive work environment.
That's really interesting. And then there's Runway, which is providing creative professionals with AI tools for content creation.
Yeah, Runway is a great example of how AI is empowering artists and designers, giving them new tools to express their creativity.
So we're seeing AI impact both blue-collar and white-collar work in very different ways.
Yeah, it's really fascinating how AI is infiltrating so many different aspects of our lives.
And it's not just startups that are making waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
The big tech companies are also pushing the boundaries of what's possible with AI.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at OpenAI's latest release of ChatGPT.
ChatGPT, yeah. I mean, that's been all over the news lately. What's so special about this new version?
Well, for one thing, it now has multimodal capabilities.
Multimodal meaning?
Meaning you can interact with it not just through text, but also using images and audio.
So you can have a conversation with it using your voice.
Exactly. Or you could show it a picture and ask it to explain what's happening.
Wow, that's amazing.
Hmm.
It's like we're getting closer and closer to that science fiction vision of AI that we've always imagined.
Right. It's becoming more and more like interacting with a real person.
So what do you think, listener? Does this type of conversational AI excite you? Or does it raise any concerns? I mean, it's certainly a powerful technology with the potential to transform the way we communicate.
Yeah, no doubt. And while OpenAI is focused on the software side of things, NVIDIA is pushing the boundaries on the hardware front.
NVIDIA, yeah. They make those powerful graphics cards, right?
Exactly. And they just unveiled these cutting-edge GPUs that are specifically optimized for generative AI.
Generative AI meaning?
AI that can create new content like text, images, music, you name it.
Oh, wow. So these new GPUs are going to accelerate the development of even more amazing AI applications.
Exactly. And not just in gaming, but also in fields like healthcare and scientific research.
So it seems like hardware is keeping pace with these rapid advancements in AI software and algorithms.
Absolutely. And we can't forget Microsoft. They're also making big strides in the AI space.
Yeah, Microsoft, they're kind of everywhere these days. What are they doing in AI?
Well, they've been steadily enhancing their Azure AI services.
Azure, that's their cloud platform, right?
Exactly. And they're adding all sorts of collaborative tools that are designed for enterprise needs.
So they're trying to make AI more accessible to businesses of all sizes.
Exactly. They want to democratize AI, make it easier for companies to integrate it into their operations.
It's amazing to see how quickly this technology is evolving. But with all this innovation, it's important to remember the ethical implications.
Oh, wow, absolutely. We can't just focus on the cool factor. We have to think about the potential downsides as well.
Exactly. And that's where a company like Anthropic comes in.
Anthropic, yeah. They're really interesting. They're putting ethics at the forefront of their AI development.
Okay. How are they doing that?
Well, they've developed this framework called constitutional AI, and it's all about training AI systems to align with human values and minimize the potential for harm.
So they're trying to build AI that we can trust, AI that's beneficial to society.
Exactly. It's a proactive approach to addressing concerns about AI safety and bias.
And they just launched Claude 3, their enhanced language model, right?
Yeah. It's known for its complex reasoning abilities, but also for being very efficient.
Efficient in terms of?
In terms of the computational resources it needs, which is great for sustainability.
Right, because training these large language models can be incredibly energy intensive.
Exactly. So Anthropic is trying to find that balance between pushing the boundaries of AI while also being mindful of the ethical and environmental impact.
It's great to see a company taking that approach, really thinking about the bigger picture.
Yeah, because AI is such a powerful technology, it's crucial that we develop it responsibly.
Well said.
Yeah.
And speaking of pushing boundaries, let's talk about Stability AI and their new platform, StableVideo.
Oh, this one's really cool. It allows you to transform static images into dynamic animations.
Wait, so you can take a still photograph and make it move?
Exactly. It's like bringing a picture to life.
Wow, that's incredible. I can see this being used in all sorts of creative applications like storytelling and marketing.
Absolutely. It opens up a whole new world of possibilities for visual content creation.
But it also makes me wonder about the implications for originality and authenticity.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if anyone can easily create animations from existing images, does that devalue the work of artists and animators?
It's a valid question, and one that we're going to have to grapple with as AI-generated content becomes more prevalent.
For sure. It's a whole new frontier that we're just starting to explore.
And speaking of new frontiers, let's delve into the world of AutoGPT agents.
AutoGPT agents, yeah. These are AI agents that can automate complex tasks, even ones that involve multiple steps.
Okay, give me an example.
Well, imagine an AI that could research a topic, synthesize the information, create a presentation, and then email it to your colleagues, all without any human intervention.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like having a super efficient personal assistant.
Exactly. And that's just one example. The possibilities are really endless.
But it also sounds a little scary, right? I mean, giving AI that much autonomy.
Yeah, there are definitely some ethical considerations here. We need to think about transparency, accountability, and the potential for unintended consequences.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We need to make sure that we're developing and using these powerful AI tools responsibly.
I completely agree. It's a conversation that we need to be having right now before this technology becomes even more widespread.
Well said. And speaking of widespread adoption, let's talk about AI video generation tools.
Yeah, these tools are becoming incredibly sophisticated. One that's making a lot of noise is Pictory.
Pictory, what does that do?
It helps marketers and content creators transform long videos into short, engaging clips.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's like an AI video editor.
Yeah, exactly. It can automatically identify the most important parts of a video and create short, shareable clips that are perfect for social media or other online platforms.
I can see that being incredibly useful in today's fast-paced digital world where people's attention spans are so short.
Right. It's all about getting your message across quickly and effectively.
So Pictory is focused on shortening existing videos. Are there any tools that can generate entirely new videos?
Oh, yeah. There are some really mind-blowing tools emerging that use AI to create videos from scratch.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell me more about those.
Well, one of the most interesting developments is in context-aware video generation.
Context-aware meaning.
It means that the AI can adapt the animation to fit the surrounding environment.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand. Give me an example.
Well, imagine you're using an AR app and there's an AI-generated character that appears in front of you. The character can move and interact with the real world as if it were actually there.
Oh, wow. So it's not just a flat animation, it's like a 3D character that's integrated into your surroundings.
Exactly. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It sounds like it. It's amazing to see how AI is blurring the lines between the physical and digital worlds.
Yeah, it's really pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
So what do you think about all this, listener? Does it excite you, worry you, or a bit of both? It's clear that AI is having a profound impact on our lives, and it's only going to become more pervasive in the years to come.
Yeah, it's a really exciting time to be following this technology, but it's also a time for careful consideration and thoughtful discussion about how we want to shape the future of AI. It's almost like, we're living in a science fiction movie, but it's happening right now in front of our eyes.
Yeah, and that's why these conversations about responsible AI development are so important, right? I mean, it's not enough to just be amazed by the technology. We have to think about the implications, the potential downsides, all of that.
Absolutely. We need to be proactive, not reactive.
Exactly. So let's maybe step back for a moment and think about some of the key takeaways from our discussion so far. We've seen how AI is impacting healthcare, creative industries, the nature of work itself. It's pretty incredible.
And it's not just limited to one specific area, right? We're seeing both startups and big tech companies pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, it's really a global phenomenon. And as we embrace these advancements, I think it's crucial to consider the ethical implications, especially as AI systems become more autonomous and integrated into our lives.
Absolutely. I mean, how do we ensure that these systems are aligned with our values, that they're used for good and not for harm? These are questions that we all need to be thinking about.
Yeah, no doubt. So what are your thoughts on this, listener? Do you see these AI tools as primarily enhancing our capabilities, or are there aspects that make you hesitant? It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Yeah, it's definitely something to ponder. But for now, let's maybe dive a little deeper into one specific type of AI that's gaining a lot of attention. AutoGPT agents.
Yeah, we touched on them briefly earlier, but I think they deserve a closer look. Can you remind us what they are?
Sure. So AutoGPT agents are essentially AI systems that can automate complex, multi-step tasks, often without any human intervention.
Okay, can you give us a concrete example? I'm still trying to wrap my head around this.
Sure. So imagine you have an AI that can not only research a topic, but also synthesize the information, create a PowerPoint presentation, and then email it to your colleagues, all without you lifting a finger.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. It's like having a highly skilled personal assistant who never sleeps.
Exactly. And that's just one example. The potential applications are really vast.
But it also sounds a bit, I don't know, unnerving. Giving AI that much autonomy, it's kind of a big deal.
Oh, yeah. There are definitely some ethical considerations that we need to address. Transparency is crucial. We need to understand how these agents are making decisions, what data they're using, and what biases might be baked into their algorithms.
Right, because if we don't understand how they work, how can we trust them to make the right decision?
Exactly. And then there's the issue of accountability. If an AutoGPT agent makes a mistake, who's responsible? The developer, the user, the agent itself.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Yep.
And what about the potential for unintended consequences? I mean, even with the best intentions, things can go wrong, right?
Absolutely. We need to be prepared for the unexpected. We need safeguards in place to mitigate potential harm.
So it seems like AutoGPT agents, while incredibly promising, also raise a lot of questions, a lot of unknowns.
Oh, for sure. But that's often the case with emerging technologies, isn't it? It's through exploration and careful consideration that we can start to understand the full implications.
Exactly. It's all about having those tough conversations and finding the right balance between innovation and responsibility.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of innovation, let's shift gears a bit and talk about AI video generation tools.
Yeah, those are getting pretty sophisticated these days, right? I mean, there are tools that can do everything from editing existing videos to creating entirely new ones.
Oh, absolutely. And one tool that's making a lot of noise is Pictory.
Pictory.
Oh.
Okay. What's that one all about?
So it's designed to help marketers and content creators transform long-form videos into short, engaging clips.
Okay, so it's like a smart video editor that can automatically identify the most compelling parts of a video.
Exactly. And those short clips are perfect for social media or other online platforms where people's attention spans are limited.
Right. It's all about grabbing people's attention in those first few seconds.
Exactly. And Pictory does a really good job of that.
So that's about shortening existing videos. What about generating entirely new ones? Are there AI tools that can do that?
Oh, absolutely. There are some incredible tools emerging that can create videos from scratch using text prompts, images, or even just a general idea.
Wow, that's mind-blowing. So you could basically just tell the AI what kind of video you want, and it would create it for you.
Pretty much. And the results are getting better all the time.
That's both exciting and a little terrifying, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that mean for the future of filmmaking, for example?
It's a great question and one that I don't think anyone has a definitive answer to yet, but it's definitely a conversation worth having.
Absolutely. So what are some of the most interesting trends that you're seeing in AI video generation? What's really caught your eye?
Well, one development that I find particularly fascinating is the emergence of context-aware video generation tools.
Context-aware meaning. I'm not sure I follow.
It means that the AI can adapt the animation to fit the surrounding digital environment. So, for example, imagine you're using an AR app and there's an AI-generated character that appears in your living room.
Okay.
The AI can make that character move and interact with the real world as if it were actually there, like it could walk around your furniture or even hide behind a curtain.
Wow, so it's not just a flight animation, it's like a 3D character that's seamlessly integrated into your physical surrounding.
Exactly. And that opens up all sorts of possibilities for immersive storytelling, gaming, and even just everyday interactions with technology.
It's pretty mind-boggling to think about. And a
Yeah.
little scary, too, to be honest. I mean, it's getting harder and harder to distinguish between what's real and what's not.
Yeah, that's a valid concern, and it's one that we need to be mindful of as we develop and deploy these technologies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what stands out to you the most in all of this, listener? Is this the sheer speed of innovation, the incredible possibilities, or perhaps the ethical considerations that these advancements raise? It's a lot to process, for sure, but it's important to stay informed and engaged, right?
Absolutely. The future of AI is something that we're all shaping together, whether we realize it or not.
It really is a collective journey, you know? AI is becoming so deeply embedded in our lives that it's not something we can just ignore or opt out of.
Right. It's like electricity. It's just becoming part of the infrastructure of our world.
Exactly. So it's up to us to shape how this technology evolves to make sure it's used for good.
And that's where the conversation comes in. It's not enough to just marvel at the technological advancements. We have to talk about the ethics, the implications, all of that.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen some incredible things today, haven't we? Empathetic AI assistants in healthcare, AI tools that can create videos from scratch. It's mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah, it really is. It seems like every week there's some new breakthrough that pushes the boundaries of what we thought was possible.
Exactly. But with all this power comes a lot of responsibility, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to ask ourselves some tough questions.
Like, how do we prevent bias in these systems? How do we ensure that they're used fairly and equitably?
And how do we protect privacy in an increasingly AI-driven world? These are not easy questions to answer.
No, they're not. But they're questions that we can't afford to ignore.
Exactly. The stakes are too high.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a challenge, listener.
Okay, I like challenges.
The next time you encounter AI in your own life, whether it's a chatbot on a website or a recommendation algorithm on your streaming service, take a moment to pause and reflect.
Pause and reflect, okay.
Ask yourself, how is this AI being used? What are the potential benefits? But also, what are the potential risks? And what role do I want to play in shaping the future of this technology?
Because it's not just up to the tech companies, right? It's up to all of us.
Exactly. The future of AI is something that we're creating together, whether we're aware of it or not.
So let's make sure we're creating the future that we want to see.
Well said. That's a great note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of AI. It's a fascinating, ever-evolving landscape, and we're excited to see what the future holds.
Yeah, me too. It's definitely an exciting time to be alive.